This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joynton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Jackie Konecki, and she is from the Alpena Horsemen's Club. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning. Thank you very much for inviting me.
I'm so glad that you're here. I ran into one of your members one day, and she was telling about all the fundraisers that you're doing to make it affordable for families to take their kids to the fair and all these other wonderful projects that you're doing in the community. I thought, we got to have them on so we can hear this firsthand what's going on. So let's start with your club, Alpena Horsemen's Club. First of all, tell me about your club.
Well, the Alpena Horsemen's Club was founded in 1969. It has about a 200 membership all over Michigan. You can have any kind of horse in the club, and we use our education and our love for our horses to help our community.
Ah, all right. And I know you've been doing some bottle drives, so tell me what your fundraising primarily recently is going to be used for.
Well, this year the Alpena Horsemen's Club is doing another bottle drive, and what we're doing is we've been doing quite a few bottle drives, and what we're doing is we're trying to raise money for the Alpena County 2014 Fair. And what we're going to do with the money is we're going to take and we're going to buy the carnival out, per se, and we're going to open the gates up and we're going to let the children of our community ride the rides free. There's so many people that need help.
Oh my goodness, we talked about that before. If you have 3 or 4 children, it's almost unaffordable to take them to the fair. By the time you pay to get in the gate, pay for the rides, pay for a popcorn, pay for a cotton candy, I mean, it's become something like, I'm sorry kids, we can't go to the fair. And you know, that's an important part of the fair, but the whole fair experience is so important. I mean, I remember as a young person standing in front of the grandstand, hoping my name was pulled to win the bike, and looking at all the ribbons, the displays, the animals. So it's the whole experience.
Correct. We just want, this is the second year we're doing it, we just want every child and family to be involved in the 4-H, to be involved in our community. And we don't want anybody to be left behind because maybe they can't afford it. So we just want to help with the love of our horses, and we want to do some bottle drives and some other events to help our community out.
Okay, so now when is the next bottle drive going to be held?
The next bottle drive is March 29th, Saturday from 10 a.m., and you can drop off your bottles at the Alpena County Fair office.
All right.
We are looking for volunteers to go out and on Saturday to take some trucks and children do better with bottles and go out in our community and drop them off, or tell your grandma or your grandpa, you know, say, hey, save your bottles and drop them off to the fair. It doesn't necessarily have to be on March 29th. Just call an Alpena County Horsemen's Club member, and we'd be more than happy to come right to your doorstep and pick up the bottles.
Woohoo! And so, you know, why not, if you're a member of an office group or something, just put a little note, say, hey guys, can you save all your bottles for me and bring them in? And then we could give you a call and somebody could zip over and pick them up.
Correct. You can call 356-0071.
Okay.
Is actually my home number, and I'd be more than happy to get somebody to pick up your bottles. And of course, we would take a donation.
Sure.
Any way we can help our community is wonderful. And I really appreciate you letting us talk today.
Yes, and you don't have to have 100 bottles to participate.
No.
Every one adds up. Every 10 cents. Only takes 10 of them to be $1.
Exactly, exactly.
And now you're really excited about another wonderful fundraiser that just kind of dropped into your lap.
We had a wonderful opportunity. The Aplex, Norm Summerfield, gave us an opportunity to help our community out even more. 100% of the proceeds, again, is going to go for the bottle drive. Excuse me, not the bottle drive. I mean the kids for the fair. What we're going to do is we got the Over the Hill Band. It's a nice, older country western band. It's a local band.
Yes,
we're again helping our community. It's going to be March 22nd. Its doors open at 5:30. 7 o'clock is the band. And again, 100% of the proceeds will go towards the children at the carnival. Ticket cost is $5. It's very affordable.
Yes.
Of course, our famous Tony Burgers will be available.
Oh, great.
Alcohol, if you'd like to purchase it. The downside is 21 and older, of course, because of that.
It's okay. All right, so now back to your club. When are your club meetings held?
Oh, our club meets every second Tuesday of the month.
Okay.
We meet at the Aplex generally. In the summer, we'll meet at personal farms. We like to have hay rides and different things like this. It's always the second Tuesday of the month. 7 o'clock is our start time, and the public is welcome. Anyone is welcome.
And if you have a horse, you can be a member of the club?
Or not. You do not have to have
you don't?
No, if you love horses and you want to get involved, we'd be more than happy to have you come.
And you do a lot of other events, like horse-related events during the year.
Well, what people don't realize is the Alpena Horsemen's Club, we use, again, the love of our horses to do education. We have a scholarship.
Wow.
If someone wants to, they're a senior or older, they would like to become a farrier, or they'd like to go to school for a veterinarian or any equine purpose, we have a $250 scholarship.
Great.
Our deadline is April 15th. We're involved in Michigan Brown Trout Festival. We're a delegates club, so we donate our time at the Michigan Brown Trout Festival, and as you know, it's their 40th year.
Yes.
So it's a wonderful year this year. We have a lot of activities. We've helped out in the past with Fletcher Library Carnival Day. We're just very family orientated and to help our community.
Okay, well, let's just go back over a couple events. March 22nd is the Over the Hill Band at the Aplex. Doors open at 5 p.m., $5 for a ticket. All proceeds, 100% of everything goes towards making it affordable for young people to go to the Alpena County Fair.
7 o'clock is the band time.
7 o'clock band starts. And then on the 29th is your bottle drive, but it doesn't have to be just that day. You can bring bottles to the fair office, get them, start saving them, stacking them up. You'll pick them up. You still need a few volunteers to help with that, with trucks to do it. It's so much fun.
Well, it is, and we are so excited that you allowed us to come on here and talk about all this, and I really appreciate your time, Nancy.
Oh, that's what this show is for, and we're excited about what you're doing in our community. All right, one more time, phone number, Jackie, where we can reach you.
356-0071. Anytime, I will call you back, and we will take your bottles, and we would love to sell you a ticket. Tickets, by the way, for Over the Hill Band can be purchased at the door on Neiman's, or you can call the Aplex for a reserve a table of 8.
Ooh, very good. Thank you again, and best wishes to your club, and thanks for all you do in our community.
Thank you very much, Nancy. You're very welcome.
You're welcome. Please stay tuned. I'll be right back with Carlene Shakutsky on some information from Partners for Prevention. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is Carlene Shakutsky from Partners in Prevention. Hi, Carlene, and welcome.
Hi, Nancy. It's good to be back.
It's good. It's been a while, and I know that the Partners in Prevention has some wonderful signature parenting programs, and you just had an event. How did that go?
Just Tuesday evening was our Power of Parenting 12th annual event.
Wow.
This has been going on. It's a once-a-year event that brings families in for a family meal, and then there's childcare, there's a keynote for the adults, and then breakout sessions. And this year we had over 50 parents and almost 30 children.
Great.
And so that's an activity of the Parenting Education Team, or PET. It's a PET project, and it is a collaborative of a number of family-serving agencies, and we provide the facilitation and the technical assistance and handle the registrations and all that, pay the bills, all that kind of stuff. But it's really a community agency project, as most of our things that we do. We couldn't do it alone.
Right.
And so that's the Partners in Prevention, because we take a very broad view of prevention, that if we can have positive families and good, healthy families with positive parenting, we will have children who are less likely to choose to abuse, substance abuse, or get involved in that kind of activity. So that's
And you know, something that people need to understand is, there is substance abuse issues. There are substance abuse issues in our community. It really is out there. It exists. And if you're a parent, say, oh, my kids would never do that, and maybe hopefully they don't. But the education and the awareness is so important as a parent, to know what signs to look for, to know what to think, to know what to feel, to know the right conversation to have with your children.
That's so important with adolescents, and particularly because And you have to start with the young children with that open communication and being able to talk. And so as a parent today, with the internet available and so many resources to really become educated about the issues surrounding, particularly underage drinking, alcohol is still the #1 choice
Yes.
of drug for young people. And we're also concerned about the growing marijuana issue. The studies show that it's very, very harmful for young people. The adolescent brain is still developing, and so exposure to marijuana, exposure to alcohol can cause really serious lifelong damage. So there's a reason, particularly with alcohol, that we have a 21-year age limit.
Exactly, there's a reason. That wasn't just picked out of the air.
Yeah, we're going to have a community forum thanks to the Alpena News and the Alpena County Prevention Policy Board, of which we're a member, hosting a community forum on underage drinking on April 2nd. April is Alcohol Awareness Month. So one of the things that Up North Prevention, which is a project of Catholic Human Services, another group that we collaborate with, has been having social host liability resolutions passed by governmental agencies, and that is part of the awareness to help people be aware that as a social host with the prom season, with graduation coming up and weddings, that
Spring fever?
Yeah, well, you know, you really have to, as an adult in our community, take the health and well-being of our young people seriously, and be sure that when you are hosting events in your home, that there is a strict policy of no alcohol use by children under 21, and know how to serve food so that even the adults who are using do not become impaired, and also be aware of the designated driver issue so that we don't have people impaired on the road.
Now, where will this forum be held?
The forum is going to be at the Alpena County Library in the Judy Stillion Community Room, and I believe it starts at 7 o'clock, and we'll have a panel. They will have a panel. The Alpena News is host. They have a community. They've done some community forums, and they happen to agree to host this one around underage drinking. We'll have the high school principal, Matt Poley. We'll have Sheriff Steve Kalashewski. We'll have County Prosecutor Ed Black. We have a student who will represent the young person's opinion, and there may be a few others yet, but those are the ones that are confirmed at this time. So we hope that people will plan to come out to just, you know, get more educated about the issues surrounding underage drinking, and be able to take a pledge themselves that they're going to be sure that they're not contributing to this problem.
And that peer pressure thing's a pretty tough thing, so it's wonderful that they have those resources behind them to know how to say no to all those pressures.
Absolutely. Sometimes that's all they need is a conversation where you say, I'll be the bad guy, you just tell your friends, you know,
this is the way it is.
My parents will kill me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right, and there's one more event.
Well, we have coming up a second bonus Power of Parenting workshop this spring. It's Youth Mental Health First Aid. So any parents of children ages 12 to 18, any other caregivers, grandparents, anybody that works with kids, this is free through our work with Northeast Michigan Community Mental Health. It's a 5-hour program, so there's going to be 2 sessions, April 29th and May 13th, and that'll be held at Thunder Bay Junior High Media Center. You call Partners in Prevention to register. It's 356-2880. And this is a national program that helps you learn about the adolescent stage and what's normal in terms of their behavior and their ups and downs and their moods, what are warning signs to be alert for, and when it's a time to call for professional help. And so it's really, we all think, oh, first aid is so complicated. Sometimes the program says first aid is you.
Right.
And knowing how to listen, and the program includes a manual. Tom Hainstock is the nationally certified trainer. It's free. It's a 5-hour program. Does require the 2-night commitment, but we hope that we'll have a good turnout for that.
I'm sure you will, and just once again, thank you for all that you do in our community, because a lot of times parents, when they're, the only time they think about these things is when they're in trouble and they don't know what resources are out there. But as you said, if we start them young and, teach them from day one, all the consequences, that every action has a consequence. So it's just really important to know where to turn and what the right thing to say, and conversation starters between parents and children.
Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you very much for being here. Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Joynton following these messages.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Olin Joynton, president of Alpena Community College. My guest returning to the show today, Dr. Don McMaster.
Well, thank you, Olin.
Thanks for coming. And maybe you're not used to being called that, but you did pass an educational milestone this past week. We're very happy about, proud of you for. What was that?
Well, I had to defend my dissertation. I've been the last 3 years going to Ferris in their doctoral program in community college leadership. And I have to thank you for encouraging me to do that.
Well, it was an awful lot of trouble. You probably were cursing me there a few of the times, but you went through the program. From what I hear, you were the first person to finish your graduation requirements, including the dissertation, on time in that program.
That's what I've been told. I don't know what that says about me or the program, but probably the bottom line to it is that I have a limited time and a lot of responsibilities, and I didn't really want it to drag out, and I had a topic that was doable for me.
That's great. That's great. Well, how did you first get interested in this subject of community college leadership, and what impelled you to start the program?
Well, I've been at ACC for more than 20 years. It's just been a really life-affirming place for me to work and plug in. I've really enjoyed it, and felt that it's a great resource in the community and does a lot of good work. So the leadership just kind of grew as I migrated up the chain of responsibility, and when you arrived, you were very supportive in terms of, hey, if you want to move higher, you need to get this credential, the doctorate. And Ferris was creating a program that was pretty much all online, which made it doable for me with my family obligations.
You did have to travel from time to time around Michigan to meet face-to-face with your classmates, but much of the work, as you've related, is done online. That's remarkable with the technology we have for doing that kind of thing today.
Absolutely. Back in the day, I got a master's from CMU, and when I had to do that, I drove down to Mount Pleasant once a week, 3 hours one way for 3 years.
Wow.
And this was much more doable, and as it turns out, much more pertinent to my interest and capabilities at this point in my career.
Good. As you've now gone through this program, what are one or two characteristics that you think are as most important for a leader?
Well, that's a great question. I think a leader needs to have a vision for the organization or the operation that he or she leads. Needs to know what the current situation is, the cultural life of the place, needs to establish a level of trust and credibility among the people that work for him or her, and have a lot of work energy, a lot of capacity to get up and lead by example in terms of work ethic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, that's great. And I see you as having all those characteristics, so that's great. What about the dissertation itself? What was your topic?
Well, it's called Cracking the Code, a practitioner's guide to grant writing and project management for community college leaders. A bit of a mouthful there toward the end. But, it's education, so sometimes things that could be said briefly get a little long.
But this really revolves around federal grants that you yourself have acquired and managed very well over the past 10 years.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it does revolve around that. In my career, I was thinking about it. It's not something I gave a lot of thought to before I did the dissertation, but probably $10 million of projects have channeled through the college, primarily workplace training awards that have gone out, and we've managed for the benefit of employers and employees. It's something I know well. And it's an interesting combination of vision, connecting dots, but also very detail orientation in terms of satisfying the requirements of a funder.
So the grants are awarded on a highly competitive basis, and there's a lot of detail to the application process, even understanding the what the government is asking for.
Yes.
And I know that your dissertation addresses the situation of a person trying to get through all that. It is a code, as you say, and understanding what the signals are, what maybe is not said explicitly but should be understood by an applicant and then a project manager. It would be very helpful, I think, for a person following in your steps, as so many are now, because as different sources of funding for colleges rise and fall, they're fluctuating. A cultivation of additional revenue to do the things a community college needs to do is portrayed, rightly so, as critical. And you've done that for ACC and then written about it and achieved this distinction of getting through this program and earning your doctorate. So that's really great.
Thank you very much.
Very good. And any ideas for disseminating this work so that it actually comes easily into the hands of people who could benefit from it?
That's a really good question. There are some expectations Ferris has for the dissemination of all their dissertation projects. Mm-hmm. My hope would be that, I guess my starting point would be to see whether it could be marketed as a educational textbook.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and you know, that would be beneficial to the McMaster family.
Yes, well, good.
I
understand what you're saying.
Yes, but if that doesn't work, my intent is to share what I've learned. People have done that for me, for my benefit, and I feel like it's just good citizenry to do it for the next person.
You could publish that book and set yourself up holding seminars, being a consultant for $25,000 a whack, and
wouldn't that be nice? Yeah.
Well, in addition to leading, exercising leadership in the community college sphere. Well, again, congratulations. Thanks for your great work, and thanks for being on the program today.
Thank you.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joynton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.